Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your day today. So appreciate it. Guys, it is Friday. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, tea, matcha, coffee, whatever. I am hungry and I am ready to chat. Guys, this is part 2 of the Aaron about it's just your imagination running away, Aaron. And here he is trying to defend, or to me, he's trying to just take the narrative of something and make you believe it the way he wants you to believe it. He wants, you know, what you saw in the first video and what I've tried to explain is that there's a lot of hypocrisy. What Aaron claims to be fair is what he deems to be fair. So his idea, just so you know, his idea of harassment is not calling a woman the C word and just writing to her so many times because she's so effing hot, like he said, you know, in that body cam video. I mean, why should she be harassed at that? Why should she feel threatened about that? Because Aaron says she shouldn't. And it is the same exact thing that is happening here and happening now. He talks about how he's never attacked Mike Rinder, Lee Remini, or Mark and Claire Headley, and that isn't true. And then he says, wait a minute, even though I'm just telling you my side, or he's not even saying my side, he's saying the truth. And the truth, I beg to differ, because it's not just your side, Aaron. We already know that. We've seen body cam video of your side of the story that just doesn't gel with your side of the story. And I believe that this is pretty much the same thing here. So let's get into this and we'll see. We'll see. Okay? All right, guys, hang on.
I reject any implication that I've attacked Mike Rinder and Leah Remini because I just haven't. I've never attacked Mark Headley or Claire Headley. But honestly, telling the story of the series of events that led to me and the Aftermath Foundation parting ways is not an attack. I'm not even one of the people who says that Mike Rinder is definitely covering up the fact or lying about having participated in covering up child sex crimes. I'm not even one of the people who comes onto YouTube and says that.
Well, we know that that's not true because he's saying that the person that is on the board for the that children's organization that Mike Rinder is a part of, that Mike knew that somebody was an offender, and that they thought that Aaron thought for sure that Mike would have told everybody who needed to know, right? So that's not covering something up. He's saying that Mike knew about something. He just assumed Mike told other people. And now he's saying, but Mike knew this for a really long time. I just assumed he told people and it would be okay with that. Really? It would be okay that you think Mike told somebody that he knew about these offenses and knew about this person who was perpetuating these offenses, but they never told the organization for children that Mike was a board member of. Come on, Aaron. That's hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy. And you have a few times made reference to what Mike might have been covering up or might not have been covering up when you were talking about Miriam Francis. So that just because it's not your idea of what harassment or accusations are doesn't mean everybody agrees with you. It is harassment. It is accusations being thrown. It's just the way you're lobbing it over the fence might not be as aggressive. It's called passive aggressive, and it's manipulation.
In all of the documents that Mike Rinder took with him when he left, that he pretends weren't his, there's one series of documents about a Scientologist named James Barber, who's a pedophile. And the documents that Mike had with him document how Scientology helped cover up his crimes. I have said that those documents indicate that. That's just a fact. Mike Rinder claims those documents aren't his. Mike Rinder is free to come on YouTube and explain that to the world. I don't have to explain that to the world. I don't know that that's true. As far as I know, they are his. But I have to, anyway, all right, I don't want to get...
Can you say that again? Because, see, that seems like an accusation to me, something you're saying you're not doing. So, one more time.
Mike Rinder is free to come on YouTube and explain that to the world. I don't have to explain that to the world. I don't know that that's true. As far as I know, they are his. But I have to, anyway, all right, I don't want to get...
Yeah, that seems like an accusation to me.
I don't want to get too far off. I guess it's just a statement. Aaron has attacked every major ex-Scientology whistleblower. Do you know who the major Scientology whistleblowers are in the world right now? It's the members of the SPTV community and the protesters out there in the world. Those are the major whistleblowers of Scientology in the world right now. I have worked to build up every single one of those people and try to increase their platforms and their reach and collaborate.
Aaron, that's a fair statement. You have tried to build up the ones that you've wanted to build up, and you've torn down the ones that you've wanted to tear down. Does that make you a hero? I mean, if you want to go back to everything you've done for people, you have to go back to what people have done for you, right? So, kind of like in other words, remember you were saying that Leah, you were accusing Leah, and it comes out in here that she made $1 million off of Miriam Francis's episode, and even got an award, the Emmy, for it, and everything that Leah should be grateful for, the content that she gave you guys, that you guys gave her, that Leah should be grateful for the content that you guys gave her, right? Well, how come it doesn't work that way with you? Should you be grateful for the content that these ex-Scientologists gave you so that you can increase the money from your channel and the exposure with your channel? Doesn't it work the same way?
Just imagine if I told you 2 years ago that the future of the ex-Scientology movement was a fractured, divided community that hates each other and is actively undermining every legal effort to stop Scientology, from lawsuits to real-world protests. You would never believe it could happen, and yet here we are, all because of Aaron and his enablers. If you were to have told me 2 years ago that the ex-Scientology movement would be a fractured, divided community that hates each other, I would say, that sounds like what it's always been.
But yet it wasn't what you portrayed it to be. See, you let us all believe that everybody was cool, everybody was great friends. You even said things like that, Aaron. And now we're to believe that that was never the case because this is the way it ended. But it was the case when everybody was playing nice before they decided they'd had enough of you. You see what I'm saying? It's only your narrative that you want people to believe. Only your narrative. And there's something wrong with that, because your narrative was different before they said, we can't deal with you anymore, Aaron. We just can't.
And yet the beauty of what we're doing here on YouTube is that it doesn't matter who likes who. I can talk shit about Chris Shelton for 5 videos a month, and I can do another 150 videos a month about Scientology. Chris Shelton can cry that no one watches his videos and that I punch down every time that I say his name. He could do that 5 times a month, and then he could do another 5 videos that month exposing Scientology. And if you want to watch me, you watch me. If you want to watch Chris, you watch Chris. If you want to watch Nora, you watch Nora. And I'm just mentioning Nora as another very successful, high-profile content creator right now exposing Scientology. All communities are fractured.
See, there's where you're wrong, Aaron. There are people that care about you guys being a united front or not being a united front. And just to be clear, not every organization of 7 or more people is fractured. Just because you think it is. There are organizations with a lot of people that aren't fractured, regardless of what you think. The way that you would have people believe things is very sick. You need to pull away, Aaron, and stop dictating to people, because that's what you're doing. You think you have control over this narrative, but anybody that can clearly see that you're trying to take control over the narrative, and you don't have control over the narrative. You are making proclamations here as if what you're saying is the word. And it's not. It's not. You can't take your reality and make other people think that it's real for them. Unless you just give them some Kool-Aid.
Especially, I mean, any community more than 10 people is going to be fractured. Hell, the Aftermath Foundation board was like 7 people, and it eventually fractured. The beauty of it is this movement works whether it's fractured or not. And as far as the protesters, no one gives a good gosh darn diggity damn if protesters don't like each other or are throwing shade at each other or are shooting, taking shots across each other's bow. Who gives a shit? This is a fluid movement. There ain't no hierarchy. Nobody cares who gets along with each other.
See, there's where you're wrong, Aaron. There are people that care about you guys being a united front or not being a united front. So you can't make accusations. Well, you are. Like other people, you are making proclamations here as if what you're saying is the word. And it's not. It's not. You can't take your reality and make other people think that it's real for them. Unless you just give them some Kool-Aid.
We can all walk and chew gum at the same time. Okay, let's see here. In Aaron's latest effort to undermine the ex-Scientology whistleblowers. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. It's only reportedly Leah Remini's lawsuit that's in trouble. The other lawsuits brought by the Jane Does that Leah Remini is about to throw major shade at are the ones actually having a lot of success in their lawsuit. Just keep that in mind. Okay. In Aaron's latest effort to undermine the ex-Scientology whistleblowers, a day ago, it was actually 2 days ago, Aaron posted, Leah Remini's attorneys drop her as a client, where Aaron gleefully ranted about how Leah and Jane Doe 1 have lost their representation. To be clear, it is only Leah who's lost her representation. Jane Doe 1 has representation. Okay. What Aaron did not admit to is that Aaron, Jane Doe 1, and Chrissy Bixler are the cause of this. Now, here's where we're getting into very dangerous territory. This person cannot claim to know this type of confidential and privileged information. At least they are claiming it is confidential and privileged. It would have to be confidential and privileged, meaning it would have to be true in order to be confidential and privileged. Here's what I mean. They're claiming it's true, but if it were true, the information could only come from Leah Remini. That's my point. Nobody but Leah Remini would be able to represent the truth of what this person is claiming is the truth, which is why I really don't even know what the point is of having these anonymous mouthpieces publish this material. Everyone can see, Leah, that you follow and support this person online, and they're publishing information that can only come from you. So who are you really kidding? I mean, why don't you just put it out yourself? Aaron, Jane Doe 1, and Chrissy Bixler are the cause of Leah and Jane Doe 1 losing their representation. Leah's lawsuit is not just some minor civil lawsuit. This is the only legal case ever brought against Scientology by a celebrity former member and a revered advocate for Scientology victims. Leah's lawsuit could potentially end fair gaming as a practice, which would open the door to a flood of new lawsuits and actions against Scientology, since the church could no longer retaliate or bully its critics and ex-members. All of that has been threatened by the self-serving actions of Aaron and the Jane Does. Guys, we got to have a little bit of commentary on this. There is no civil lawsuit that can prevent Scientology from fair gaming people who have nothing to do with the lawsuit. Fair gaming people in the future who have nothing to do with the lawsuit. Leah is basically suing over tortious interference. She's suing over contractual disputes. She's suing over Scientology preventing her from being able to easily make a living. Now, interesting. Now, in order for this case to result in anything, it would require that Leah not settle. And, whereas I'm a pretty big cheerleader and hype man for my friends, I know I said that I truly believed that Leah would never settle for any amount of money, and this lawsuit wasn't about the money, and she was in it to see it to the end and make some real change. But the truth is, I distinctly remember something else that was said, which is that for $50 million, Leah doesn't know any of us and would never talk to us again.
So let's be clear. That's not throwing shade, or that's not accusations. That's not putting a little seed in somebody's ear. Maybe speaking a little bit of false narrative there. You don't see a problem with that. But you see a problem when somebody does it to you. Here we go. That's not crystal clear.
Both of those things can't be true. What do I know, guys? I grew up in a cult. How can a legal case move forward credibly when one of the parties in the suit is publicly and privately trashing the other? Scientology lawyers would destroy their entire case with ease in such a situation. I certainly believe that would be true. You would think that one client threatening to sue another one of the clients who's also suing Scientology would exacerbate the situation. So there might be some intelligent debate to be had over, at what point in the timeline here did an honest to God conflict that could not be waived or overcome occur?
And we're going to stop right there, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you see what I'm saying? You see the conflict that Aaron clearly shows us there, right? But he never talks about how there's a conflict when there was a board member in California that was there to support Jane Doe's in the middle of a domestic Violence dispute that happened at a friend's apartment with the board member, Aaron, and a woman that he picked up during the time he was in California and did mushrooms with, who he threw off of her. And if I remember correctly, something happened where she threw something at his toe and he couldn't walk and stuff, but he seemed to walk pretty damn good in the video after he threw this woman off of him. Now here's the truth. The woman was on him. Aaron's supposed to be a runner. Aaron's all supposed to have common sense. I'm not sure Aaron has that, because this woman was no threat. He even said on the video, which he spoke about, I never felt threatened by her. Then why the fuck would you throw her off of you? And that she banged her head like that and you left her there and went running away with your foot. Guys, I'm going to do another video about this, a part 3 to this, and we're going to tie this up in a little bow. But the thing is, I'm showing you, I'm not saying that either one of these people are correct. I'm not sticking up for anybody. What I'm saying is, why doesn't Aaron see his own behavior in himself just as easily as he sees the behavior in other people? All I'm saying is own your shit too, okay? Because you're not perfect. Everything you're accusing these people of is the same fucking thing you're doing, Aaron. But yet, I guess it's you can get away with it. All right, guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Please check and see if you're subscribed, because I thought I was subscribed to AG Tactical and I wasn't, but I was once upon a time ago. So guys, please, and guys, check us out. You know, please like, subscribe, and share. If you don't like us at the end of 30 days, you're done with it. Doesn't cost you any money. All right, guys, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind, never be in a cult.